Good morning, glow getters. So, what I want to do now is talk to you guys about how I had to shift my mindset in regards to losing weight and then maintaining my weight loss and my relationship with food. And my hope is that by the time you finish watching this video, you'll have a better understanding of how you can lose weight and how you can kind of just retrain your mind. So not only do you lose weight, but you keep it off, okay? If you did not know, your girl lost 100 pounds. My heaviest weight was 340. I am 6'3". I used to play basketball back in college and high school. So I did have a track record of being athletic. But once I graduated, you know how it goes. You stop lifting weights, you stop working out, and then you don't change your eating habits. And the next thing you know, you wake up and you're 100 pounds heavier. No, it didn't happen overnight. Okay, I understand that the decisions I made, the routines that I had was the reason why I was so big. And, I had high blood pressure. I had high cholesterol. I was pre-diabetic. I had a lot of things going on, but I couldn't get my mindset right in regards to losing weight. I was a yo-yo dieter for 8+ years. So I would lose 10 pounds, gain 20. I would do fasts, like water fasts. I would do like smoothie fasts, like just any and everything I tried at some point, and it never worked. Okay, and year after year I would just find myself getting bigger and bigger and more unhappy with my body, how I looked and how I felt. And now I am 100 pounds lighter. I'm 240. I've kept the weight off for 3 years now, and I've made a lot of changes with my relationship to food. So let's go ahead and get started. This time around, I decided to try something different. I had never hired a personal trainer before, but I was tired of failing, and I was like, okay, I understand that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So this time around, I hired a personal trainer, and that changed everything for me. It's something about having an accountability partner, somebody that is where you want to be. And the thing too, see, I tell you guys all the time, believe it or not, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. I firmly believe that. So we will lie to ourselves and say things like, oh, well, I'm doing the best I can and I'm trying and I'm making progress, when in fact you're not doing the best you can. You're not making any progress. These are just lies that we tell ourselves so we can feel comfortable with the decisions that we're making, even though the decisions we're making aren't really getting us closer to the goals that we have. It's really just a way for us to stay in our comfort zone without feeling bad about it. But when you hire a personal trainer, when you have an accountability partner, and listen, I use the word accountability partner loosely. There's nothing wrong with having a workout buddy, a gym buddy, but y'all got to be on the same type of time, because if she's not really trying to lose weight like that, or she's, playing games, that's going to rub off on you, believe it or not. Birds of a feather flock together. Don't ever forget that. I highly suggest that you hire a personal trainer and lose the weight. And don't sit there and say, well, I can't afford it. That's not true, because you're always on TikTok shop shopping. You are on Temu and Shein and Fashion Nova, and you are at Chick-fil-A every single day for lunch and breakfast and dinner. You can afford a personal trainer. Stop playing. But anyways, so I decided to hire a personal trainer this go around. And when I lost the weight this time, I had been out of the gym for about, I think I was 32. I'm 35 now. Yeah, I think I was like 31 going on 32. So I had been out of college for like 10 years. Okay, so all of the weight training I had learned, everything that I knew about exercise, that was pretty much gone. And my body didn't move like how it used to, because I'm a lot bigger and I'm out of shape. So this time around, hired a personal trainer, and I just Googled personal trainers in the area, and he was the first one that popped up. And when we first met up, the vibe was good. Like, I could tell, like, he really cared and he really knew, what he was talking about. He's also vegan. And so I thought that was really important, because I wasn't vegan at the time, but I knew that at some point in life I was going to be vegan. And so I was like, oh, cool. Well, he's vegan. Maybe he can help me get on that plant-based diet that I knew I ultimately wanted to be on. So we were weightlifting and he was showing me like how to do stuff and proper form and all that stuff. And everything that I was learning on my weight loss journey this go around, especially in the gym, was not things that I was trying before. When I was trying to lose weight before, I was always like on a cardio machine, like trying to be on an elliptical for an hour. And this time around, when I hired him, like we were not on cardio machines. Like, we were lifting weights. Like he was showing me weightlifting. Like if you want to lose weight, the key is weightlifting. Lift weights, heavy weights, proper form, yada, yada, yada. So I learned so much. And the biggest thing that I got from that was a couple of things. One, a lot of the things I thought I knew about food were completely wrong. Okay, was completely wrong. Number two, as far as like how many calories a day I should be eating to lose weight, that was completely wrong. I used to think that I had to eat like 1,200 calories a day to lose weight. He had me eating 1,600 calories a day. So I actually got to eat more food than all the other times I tried to lose weight. So I was fuller and I was able to sustain it. And having somebody asking you like, all right, what are you going to eat? What's on the menu? And at first, I'm not gonna lie, like when I first started training with him and he was asking me these questions, I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I was kind of doing what he was saying, but not all the way, right? I was still, doing what I do. And honestly, I got tired of lying. Every time he would ask me like, okay, Jazz, so what's for dinner tonight? I knew damn well I was about to go get me, I knew damn well I was about to go get me a chicken sandwich. And I had to make up a lie, oh, I'm gonna eat a salad. And he'd be like, okay, what are the ingredients? And I'm like, gosh, I didn't think that far ahead in this lie. Like, why does he keep asking questions? It's really hard to keep track of the lies to the point where it's just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna lie anymore. I'm just gonna tell the truth. And that's what was holding me accountable because I got tired of lying. And, it was forcing me to confront what I'm not doing. When weeks are going by and he can't tell I lost weight. When weeks are going by and he can't tell I lost weight, it's like, okay, let me stop at the charades. I'm still at Chick-fil-A. I'm still going to Jersey Mike's. Like, I'm still drinking soda. You know what I mean? So having that accountability was definitely a game changer for me. And he was the only person I was around who was healthy. That's the biggest thing. Because I come from an overweight family, like overweight, diabetes, high blood pressure, fast food, sweets. Like that's what I knew. That's what I grew up around. Everybody that I'm around has a weight problem, right? He was literally the only person in my life who was not only at a healthy weight, but also ate healthy foods. Like his life is structured around wellness. He's not just a personal trainer just for income. Like that's really how he lives his life. And so he's still my personal trainer to this day, by the way. And so having that influence, listen, like just the conversations about food and, just, it really just, having someone around you that is doing what you aspire to do is a game changer. Because like I said, you can lie to yourself all you want, but that's not going to get you anywhere. And your lies will become so obvious when you are around somebody who's really about that. And it just really makes you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself like, okay, how much longer am I going to keep this charade up, right? So game changer, best money ever spent. I don't regret a penny of it. He completely changed my life. And so here we are 100 pounds later and still going strong. So my relationship with food has completely changed. First of all, I'm not going to lie. When you first start eating healthy, it's going to be hard. You're going to have cravings. Like I'm not telling you I wasn't going through withdrawals of soda, withdrawals of like really sugary foods and stuff like that. But I had to learn that you can still have those things. I don't drink soda. Like soda is completely out of my diet. I haven't had soda in years. But you can still have things that you like. You just can't go overboard. The problem is we, America, it's like we eat too much. We eat too much. Like the servings that we eat, that's not even a serving. That's like 3 and 4 and 5 servings of food. And then I'm sitting there eating that in one serving and then still trying to eat dinner later. I was eating too much food. I had to understand, I had to learn, like I got to stop being greedy. I got to stop being gluttonous, and I got to truly understand what a serving of food is. And I had to learn how to stop eating when I'm comfortable. That was something else. See, I used to eat until I was stuffed. Like I needed to be stuffed in order to feel like I ate. And so stuff for me was like to the point where I need to stay seated. Like I can't get up right away. Might have to unbutton the jeans that I'm wearing and just kind of like relax. Go into, it's kind of like a high feeling. Like if you're a binge eater, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you eat so much food to where you kind of have to slouch back and be like, whew. Like that's how I used to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I had to feel that sensation of stuffed in order to be satisfied. That's not normal, okay? That's not how it's supposed to be. After you eat, you should not be stuffed. I had to learn that, and that took a long time. You're not supposed to be stuffed, okay? You are just supposed to be satisfied to where you don't feel hungry. And I also had to learn what hungry really is, okay? I used to think hungry meant when my stomach is growling, oh, I'm about to starve to death. No, it is okay to have that sensation of hunger, and that doesn't mean you have to act on it. That's just your stomach just letting you know, hey, there's nothing in here. But your body has more than enough. Your body has more than enough storage to pull from, okay? All the fat that we have, it is stored. Okay, your body has more than enough food to survive. You do not have to act on that feeling when your stomach is growling. That is not hunger. That is just your stomach letting you know, hey, there's no food in my stomach. However, we got food all around, right? I've already stored food. I have plenty of food. So I had to learn that. I also had to learn that there's a difference between being hungry and craving something. A craving does not mean you're hungry. It just means that you're craving something. And most of the time when you're craving something, I have learned, not always, but I have learned that it's really just you're thirsty. You're just thirsty. And it's, some people call it like food noise. So you don't have to act on that either. I used to always feel like if my mind was like, oh, I need something sweet, that means I have to go get something sweet like right now, or it's going to be bad. No, that's just food noise. You don't have to act on it. You just have to let it pass. It always does. But the problem is you are so used to acting on that craving. Oh, I'm craving Chipotle. I have to go get Chipotle right now. You really don't. If you just sit through that craving sensation, it passes. It really does. But I used to never let it pass. The minute I had a craving for something, I acted on it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's why it was so hard for me to lose weight. So it's so much I had to learn. I also used to be someone who ate when I was bored. And I had to recognize that the reason I'm bored is because I'm not doing things that make me not bored. My day used to, after I got off of work, you guys, I used to just sit on the couch and just like watch my favorite movies or, TV shows at the time. And that was it. Like I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any friends. Like I just was just kind of like at home, not doing nothing. So obviously you're going to be bored. Anyone would be bored. Like if you don't have anything that you're working towards, you're going to be bored. Anybody would. And so in order to avoid feeling that boredom feeling, I would eat. And I wasn't necessarily hungry when I was eating. I was just bored. So I got used to feeling like I needed to eat because I'm bored. But that's not true. I had to recognize, one, it's okay to sit in boredom and not eat. But two, this is just letting me know that I need to do more things that I like, that brings me joy, that does not revolve around food. So I had to learn that. Something else I had to learn as far as like my relationship with food. Food, and this is going to shock some of you guys, especially if you're struggling with your weight. Food is not for enjoyment. I know that sounds crazy because at least in America, at least in my family, like if you're happy, we eat. If we're celebrating, we eat. If you're sad, we eat. If you're anxious, we eat. Like everything is revolved around food, but that's not what food is for. Like I know that sounds crazy. If this was me watching this video 10 years ago, I would have been like, what the fuck is this girl talking about? But I am here to tell you, food is not for pleasure. Food is not something that you should be reaching for because you're celebrating getting a new job. Food is not something you should be reaching for when you're celebrating making your first sale. That's not what food is for. Food is literally just to nourish your body. And I know that's going to take a while to accept, but that's the truth. It is not for emotions, okay? Therapy is for emotions, but food is for nourishment. Food is just to make sure that you get the nutrients that you need so that your body can continue to function in a proper manner, okay? So once you accept that that is what food is for, it is so much easier to start looking at food differently. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you shouldn't eat foods that you don't like, because you should. But there are healthy foods that you can enjoy that will give you the nourishments that you need and not make you fat, not make you overweight, or keep your weight maintained, all right? And again, I didn't come from a family where we were eating healthy. So it actually took me a while to find meals that I actually liked, because for the longest time, I didn't really think I enjoyed healthy food. And I also was confused on what the word healthy food meant. I used to think healthy food was like, so prime example, all the other times I tried to eat healthy and lose weight, I would go to the frozen food section and I would get like lean cuisines, those like little frozen meals. I haven't had one of those in years, but those little frozen meals, and they're little, that's not even enough food. No wonder I would still be hungry, like duh. It's these little frozen meals in the frozen food section, and the calories would range from like 300 calories to maybe 500 calories, and you would just put it in the microwave, heat it up, but it's not even that much food. No wonder you're hungry. But that's not even healthy. It's full of salt, and it's not enough food to make you full anyways. But two, I learned through my weight loss journey that I can eat a lot of food in one setting and still only eat about 400 calories because I pile my food with vegetables. Like my go-to meals for anything, because I am plant-based, I always make sure I have mushrooms. I always make sure I have bell peppers. I always make sure I have onions. Those are my go-to. I don't care what I'm cooking. I already know mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers are going on it. And it's not just a little bit. It's damn near the whole pepper. It's damn near a whole small onion. It's damn near a whole small container of mushrooms. Like it is a pile of food. It is a pile of veggies. And then I pair that with some type of starch. Right now I am obsessed with, so I love Jamaican food and I love spicy food. So what I have been eating for lunch for like the past 3 weeks, like literally it's so good, is I have white rice, and then I saute up onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, jackfruit, and tempeh. Tempeh is like tofu, but more of a firmer texture. And I put jerk sauce over it. And it's nice and spicy. And then I lay that over the rice. And it is so delicious. Guess what? 400 calories. And it is a big ass bowl of food. Like it is a mountain of food. Under 400 calories. The old me would have never thought I could eat that much food and stay in my caloric deficit and be satisfied after I finished eating. But you can. But the problem is a lot of times we don't understand what is considered healthy. We think we do, but we don't. And so that's why you end up yo-yo dieting, because the foods that you think are healthy, one, are not even really healthy. Two, they don't satisfy you at all. So you feel very, very, very restricted. And then three, you're still hungry. And it's just not something you're going to maintain. Something else I had to understand about food too is it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I don't want you to feel like, let's say you're trying to lose weight, right? don't ever tell yourself, I can't ever have cookies again, or I'll never be able to eat ice cream again, or I'll never be able to eat Chick-fil-A again, or whatever, like whatever your meal is that you just absolutely love, like whatever that is. Don't ever tell yourself that you can't ever eat that again, because that's not true. That is not true, all right? I still enjoy some of my favorite meals, even though I live a healthy lifestyle now. Now, some stuff I don't because I am plant-based, so some stuff I just completely let go of. But there are plant-based versions of it that I truly enjoy. Like, I still eat pizza. I love pizza. It's just plant-based. It's just plant-based. So I use like the dairy-free cheese, and I still use, so I have a flatbread for it, but pizza sauce, I load it with veggies so I can get full. It's full of fiber, and then I'll put my tempeh on it, and I'll stick it right in the oven, and I still get to enjoy pizza. I love pizza. I love pizza even when I was a big girl. So that's not something that I have to never eat again. I think the problem is when we approach weight loss, we're looking at it as very restrictive, and then you're telling yourself that you can never eat this again, and that's not true. I love Doritos. I still eat Doritos. Now, not all Doritos are plant-based. I love the spicy chili Doritos. Those are plant-based. I'll still eat those, but it's all about moderation. It's not eating it every day. I rarely eat them, but if I want Doritos, I'll eat them. So you have to approach it differently. I want you to ask yourself, one, well, not ask yourself, I want you to tell yourself, this is a lifestyle change, this is not a diet. And that's the problem. So I used to do like a lot of fasting. I fast now, but not like how I was before. I was doing like stupid stuff that was keeping me hungry, like water fasts or fruit fasts, or I'm just gonna drink my calories for the next 3 weeks. That's not even sustainable. Who in their right mind is gonna volunteer to drink their calories forever? Most people are never gonna want to do that for the rest of their life. That sounds like torture, but you're approaching weight loss as okay, I just have to do this for right now, and then once I get to my goal weight, I can go back to how I used to eat, and that's not how that works, and that's why you're struggling with keeping the weight off. I need you to accept that the way that you're going to start eating is a lifestyle change. You will forever choose fruits and veggies over processed foods. Like, that's just something you're going to always do until the day you die. I'm not sitting here saying that you can't have processed foods, but what I am saying is you are going to prioritize your fruits and veggies over that forever. I need you to accept that it's not just for now. It's not just till you lose 20 pounds. This is how you're going to live forever. You are always going to make sure that you eat fruit throughout the day. You are always going to make sure that you eat vegetables throughout the day, right? For me, I got rid of soda. Some of y'all in that soda didn't. Like, some of y'all are some crackheads when it comes to soda, like grade date. Now, don't get me wrong. I used to love me a Sprite. Like ice, child. That used to be my thing. I would drink Sprite for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just ridiculous. I let go of soda because I tried to do like the Sprite Zeros or the Diet Sprites. I just didn't feel like it had the same taste as like the regular Sprite. Obviously it doesn't. And I could always taste that aftertaste. And so I was just like, well, if I can have 300 calories or 400 calories, me personally, I would rather eat a dessert than drink a Sprite. Like, that's just my logic. So it's like if I only have 400 calories left for the day, I would just rather eat a cookie than drink a Sprite. Like, that's just my preference. So when I started looking at it like that, I started realizing, okay, well, if I would always prefer something sweet over a soda, then that just shows me I don't really like soda that much in the first place. So I'm just going to let it go. And so I've just let it go. I haven't had soda in like 3 years, and I don't miss it at all. I only drink water and coffee. Like, that's literally all I drink. So, that was my plight with soda. But I need you to understand that it's a lifestyle change. It's forever. It's not just until vacation is over. Because if you look at it like that, that's why you keep yo-yo dieting. Because as soon as you get to the goal, or as soon as you can fit in your pants again, or whatever it is, you go right back to your old ways because you're looking at eating the way you're eating as temporary. And it's not temporary. It will never be temporary. And also, too, I want you guys to understand, one thing I learned, especially when I was training with my personal trainer, is we don't realize how quickly calories add up, like at all. Because if you're overweight, 9 times out of 10, if you're anything like how I was, you're not tracking calories. Okay, you are not on MyFitnessPal putting in your calories. You are not using a food scale. The only time you're measuring something is if you're cooking something or baking something, but you are not tracking your calories. So you really have no clue how many calories are in things, right? And so when you sit there for like a week and you're measuring out your food intake, so you're weighing the food out, you're making sure you get a serving, you're using your measuring cups, you will see for yourself how quickly things can get out of hand if you're not eating unprocessed foods. Like, for instance, back to the Doritos. Like, I love Doritos, right? Okay. Well, if you were to turn that bag over and look at the nutritional facts, you realize you only get 11 chips. You literally only get 11 chips, and that is 150 calories. Now, let's be real. Who in their right mind is only eating 11 chips? Like, let's just stop the cap. Let's just stop the cap. Who is literally only eating 11 chips? Stop it. Stop it. Nobody. Nobody. Like, absolutely nobody. Okay? So, if you eat the whole bag, like how I used to do, well, girl, that whole bag, by the time you are done, is about 1,100 calories. If you are only supposed to be eating 1,600 calories to lose weight, then you only have 500 calories left, and those Doritos do not fill you up. You are still hungry. So this is what I mean. You don't even realize how quickly it gets out of control. Like, if you go to Kava, I love Kava. I love Kava, and I'm vegan with it, but it still adds up. It still gets out of control. One bowl, and this is a plant-based bowl. Just imagine if you were to put lamb on it or chicken. My bowl. So what I do, I would get the rice, and you know they put a lot of rice in there anyway because they're not trying to give you everything else because the rice is cheap, right? So we already know what they're trying to finesse. So you get the rice. I'll put lentils on it for some protein, right? Then I'll get the hummus. I'll get one of the red, which is a harissa, the spicy. I'll get 2 of the orange hummuses. Then I get the veggies. Then I get the broccoli. I'll get the corn. I'll get the avocado. And then I'll get the harissa dressing. By the time you were to tally up or count up how many calories is in that bowl is about 1,500 calories. That's almost, I only got 100 calories left for the day. But listen, I could eat a whole bowl. Okay? So that's just lunch. You know you still gonna eat dinner. And you know you probably ate breakfast. So by the time you finish eating everything, and don't forget your Sprite or your soda that you always gotta drink, by the time you finish eating everything, you are well over 3,000 calories. How many calories is a pound? Like 3,600? And that's a vegan bowl. Just imagine if you put chicken on it. You can add another 400 or 500 calories to that. Because you know they're cooking the chicken in grease. They got to make it taste good. And then you're confused as to why you're gaining weight. That's why. And then don't factor in the fact that we get older, so your metabolism just gets a little bit slower year after year. The calories just pack on, and you don't even realize it. Like, you'll sit there, and I used to do this too. I'll sit there and be like, well, I barely eat. Knowing damn well that's a lie, because I'm eating. But in my mind, I don't think I'm eating that much. But the reason why I think that is because I'm not tracking it. So I am so blind by how many calories I'm eating for the day. And just imagine if you eat like that every day. You're probably putting on about 1 to 2 pounds a week. A week. My trainer told me most people are slowly gaining weight. And this is America, okay? I don't know what country you're in. In America, most people are slowly gaining weight. Most people are not maintaining. The only way you're going to maintain is if you like for instance myself, like you eat the same thing, so you already know, how many calories are in it because you've already tracked it. And so you pretty much eat the same thing, like you cycle through the same 4 or 5 meals, right? But most people don't. Most people are going to fast food for, at least once a day. So there you go right there. That's it. I don't care what you get. Even if you were to get a salad from McDonald's, let's say you think you're being healthy, right? So you're like, all right, I'm gonna get me a salad. I'm gonna leave the Big Mac alone, right? Go ahead and see how many calories in that salad. I bet you that salad is about 1,200 calories right off rip. And that's just for one meal. The salads at these restaurants are not healthy. And that's the misconception because people think that they are. And so you're in there eating a salad thinking that you're doing something when you're really not. And then you're confused as to why you're still putting on weight. You're putting on weight because you're not counting your calories. You have to change your relationship with food. And that's what I had to learn when losing weight and keeping it off this time. And I've had times where I lost 100 pounds, right? And so I would get comfortable, like, all right, cool. I'm not really gonna track my calories like that. I'm good right here till I'm ready to lose some more weight, right? And so I'll find myself teetering between 5 and 10 pounds, which is why I started weighing myself every day. Not because I'm I don't want to obsess over it, but if you don't weigh yourself every day, or if you don't wear something fitted every day, like let's say you have a pair of jeans that don't stretch, right? If you're not wearing those jeans regularly and you're not tracking your calories, you will put on weight. You will put on weight. This is why a lot of people weigh themselves every day, just so that they know that they're not putting on weight. But as a big girl, right, someone who knows they ain't on their shit, people avoid the scale. I used to avoid the scale all the time. The reason you're avoiding the scale is because you don't want to be held accountable, because we see that number on the scale. Now it's like, oh shit, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to do something, or am I going to act like I didn't see that number? So, like I said, my trainer told me, most people are putting on weight. You are gradually getting bigger every single day because you're not tracking your calories. And I was getting bigger. Like if I didn't make the choice to lose weight, I was 340 pounds when I went on that weight loss journey, right? That was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. I know for a fact today, I'd probably be about 400 pounds. I probably would have been about 400 pounds, if not bigger. And that's real. Because my eating habits were crazy. When I was working, let me tell you what I was doing. Big back behavior. I would get up. I had to be to work by 8:30, right? So I would get up, roll out of bed, throw on some clothes real quick. I would go to McDonald's, and I would get 2 egg and cheese biscuits and a caramel latte if the latte machine won't broke, because that shit would always be broke, right? And I would get 2 hash browns. I would eat both. So I eat both biscuits, both hash browns. Then for lunch, we would get an hour lunch. Sometimes I would bring my lunch. So if I brought my lunch, it was just leftovers from what I made for dinner. But the dinner wasn't healthy. The dinner wasn't healthy, and I had big portions. So I would either eat leftover from what I had for dinner, or I would go and get me food. So if I went to go get food, I would either go to Chipotle, I would either go to Cava and get the harissa chicken on my bowl. I would either go to Chick-fil-A. I love me some Chick-fil-A. And let me tell you what my meal was at Chick-fil-A. Every time I went, same thing. A spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese, no pickle. I always wanted extra Polynesian sauce. I would get a large size fry. I would get the macaroni and cheese. And I would get a cookies and cream milkshake, no whipped cream. Girl. And I would eat all of it. There was no saving for later. I didn't know how to save something for later. That didn't even make sense to me. In my world, it's like, why would I save it for later when I can eat it right now? What are we talking about? Yes. That shit would cost you about $16, $17 for lunch. And then dinner, if I didn't cook, I would alternate between what is that chicken place? Oh gosh, what is that chicken place Uh, Not Wingstop. Wingstop. I loved Wingstop. Oh my God. I would get the habanero wings because I love spicy food. And I would get the cheese fries. I would go to McDonald's and get me a double filet with a large fry and a large Sprite. I would either do like Chick-fil-A, or not Chick-fil-A, Chipotle or Cava. I would do Domino's pizza, and I would eat the whole medium pizza. Because you get back then it was like a medium for like, what was it, $5? They had like a $5 menu. I don't think it's $5 anymore, but it used to be. So I would get like a medium pizza. Girl, I was out of control. And if I did cook, I was cooking like pastas. So like chicken Alfredo, spaghetti, lasagna, stuff like that. I was out of control. I was out of control. So I already know for a fact if I did not lose weight when I did, I would probably, I probably would have been over 400 pounds. I probably been like 420 by now. 420, 415-ish. I probably would have been somewhere up in there. And then I had to have dessert. What is a dinner without dessert? Like, what are we talking about? So that's my point. Like, you don't even realize how much you're eating. You have no clue how much you're eating. And based off of what I told you, I was probably eating about like 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day on average. On average. And I was not moving. The only time I moved, or, I would walk, is to get to my car because I'm in the parking lot. I was not prioritizing exercise at all. I can't make this up. So you have to change your relationship with food. And I had to accept the fact, like, I'll never be able to eat like that again. Like, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Like, even if I wasn't plant-based, like, I cannot go to Chick-fil-A and get that spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese, no pickle, large size, with a cookies and cream milkshake, no whip, and add a side of mac and cheese. Like, I cannot eat like that. Like, those days are over. It's over. It can't come back. And I don't want it to. And this is all the motivation you need. Ask yourself, how do you feel about yourself if you're struggling with weight? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the way you look? How do you feel about the way you feel? Like, physically. How do you feel? That's all the motivation you need. Because if it's anything like how I felt like shit. So I had 2 knee surgeries when I was playing basketball, right? On the same knee. The same knee. And back then when I was playing basketball, I think I was like, it's crazy when you're younger and you think you're fat and then you really do get fat later on in life. And then you're like, dang, I wish I could be back to that fat I was because I really wasn't fat. Back then I thought I was fat. Back then I thought I was fat. And like looking back at those pictures, I was skinny as hell. I was like 205. 205. I tinkered between like 190 to 205. I was somewhere up in that range, right? And so when I got both of my knee surgeries, is because I was playing basketball, I hurt myself. And so, my knees didn't hurt. And I ended up having knee problems with the other knee. So I had 2 knee surgeries on my left knee because I tore my ACL the first time, and the second time I tore my meniscus, right, on the same knee, left knee. But then the right knee had to always overcompensate for the left knee because the left knee is always injured. So then I started to get like tendinitis in my right knee. So then both knees were irritated. And as I put on more weight, it was more weight on the knees, and it was just making it hard to do stuff like just bending my knee, like walking for long periods of time. And long periods of time was like 20 minutes. Like I had to keep my legs stretched. I couldn't really sit Indian style anymore because it would just irritate my knee to keep my knee bent. Like long car rides, oh my God, absolutely not. Sitting in the front seat of a car and not being able to stretch my knee out fully, oh no. I could probably sit like that for like 2 hours tops. Oh my gosh, absolutely not. But all of that was because of all of the weight that I forced my knees to carry all day, every day as I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now that I'm smaller, now that I exercise, Now that I move, now that I eat healthy, I don't have knee problems. Sometimes I forget I had a knee surgery. I cannot make this up. And the weightlifting helped with that, because the thing is, like, if you're not weightlifting, you're not building muscle. And so your muscle, the more sedentary you get, your body, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? If you don't use it, you lose it. So if you are not weight training, you are losing muscle. It's not maintaining, you are losing muscle. Okay? So in other words, you are getting weaker and weaker and weaker as you continue to live like that. And so the muscle around my knee is getting weaker and weaker and weaker because I'm not doing squats. I'm not, doing anything to build muscle in my quads. Like, I'm not doing anything, right? So it was just torture. It would be so painful to do some of the most simplest things. But now that I weight train, and I don't just, pick up a few light weights just to look cute. Like, no, I'm really weight training. Like, I'm lifting heavy ass shit. I'm a very strong woman. And so just building that muscle around my legs took all of that pain away. Losing the weight, so now my knees aren't carrying as much weight. Making sure I'm active, like walking all the time. I feel so much better. I cannot stress this to you. And exercise should not feel like torture. The reason why I used to feel like exercise was torture, and the crazy thing is, when I was playing basketball, especially at the collegiate level, like, that's no joke. If you've played sports, it's one thing to play sports in high school. When you play sports in college, it's a totally different vibe. Like, college sports, Division I college sports is nothing like high school. I had no clue what I was walking into. It's freaking crazy how much exercise you're doing. And I, like, reflecting back on it, I feel like I had a negative attitude when it came to exercise because of all of the exercise that we did in college, playing college basketball. Like, that was torture. That was freaking torture. And so I associated exercise with torture because of how traumatic because of how traumatic college sports is. Like, they got you waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to run around, and then you're not done. You still gonna run around in the afternoon, and then we got a game tomorrow, and you better be ready. Like, this shit was crazy. And so in my head, I used to hate exercising. Like, as I was getting older and getting bigger, I was associating exercise with torture. Like, I have to torture myself in order to say I'm exercising. But that's not true, because what I do now, it's not torture. It's not torture. Like, I'm not torturing myself. I'm not hurting myself. I'm not gasping for air. Like, I'm not sweating profusely. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm having fun. I'm getting a good workout in, but I'm not dying in the process. It doesn't have to be like that. I used to have this all or nothing mindset, like, when it came to exercise. And I think that really came from playing college sports. Like, if I'm not dying, then I'm not exercising. That's really how I felt. And so I would never stay on track with exercise when I was doing all this yo-yo dieting, because I was literally trying to kill myself in the process of exercising, because that's what I was used to when I was playing college basketball. That's not what that is. There's two totally different things. And so I need you to understand, like, if you're trying to lose weight and maintain it, you have to exercise, but it does not have to be torture. Okay, now when I go into the gym, you can tell when someone's new to the gym, and it's not by their weight. Like, even if everyone was in the gym skinny, you can tell who's new to the gym. Like, you can just tell, like, they just got here. Like, they just signed up last week. Like, you can tell because of all of the craziness that they're doing, like, and the accessories that come with it. Like, people will come in the gym, they got like them big ass sweat things to make them sweat. They're drenching in sweat. They're drenching in sweat. They got them waist trainer things on. Like, you can tell who's new to the gym even if it has something to do with their size, just based off of what they're doing. I used to be the same way. It's like you have this all or nothing mindset. Like you really believe that if you are not sweating out 20 pounds of sweat, if it doesn't look like you just hopped out the shower, then you believe that you're not working out. And that's not true. That's not that's not how that's supposed to go. Like, and that's not sustainable. That is not sustainable. That's the problem, okay? So change your mindset around food, change your mindset around exercise, understand this is a lifestyle, and you'll be good to go. But leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Bye, guys.